Good afternoon. I'm Mark Hall. We continue to follow breaking news of a deadly shooting at a Metro stop. 4 people have been shot, 1 person dead, a Metro employee. The other 3 people also injured at the Potomac Avenue Metro Center in Southeast D.C. DC News Now's Joseph Omo joins us with the latest. Joseph, what are we learning?
Hey, Mark, exactly what you just said. Unfortunately, a series of events, several events that led with the unfortunate death of somebody who works at a Metro station. I'm going to step out of the way so that way you guys can see what is going on here. Considerably less police than the last time that we talked a little while ago, Mark, but still, Potomac Avenue Metro Station is closed and 5 other Metro stations are shut down right now after gunmen started going on a shooting rampage, first in a Metro bus and then down the escalators into the Potomac Avenue Metro Station just before 9:30 this morning, Mark. And again, that all ended with a Metro employee. It's still unclear what type of Metro employee that was, but regardless, a Metro employee died. 3 other people were shot, are expected to be okay, but 3 other people were shot here, Mark. And, you know, you just think about this. This happened during the morning rush hour. A lot of people coming into Washington, D.C. for work. The Potomac Avenue Metro Station is served by 3 different lines, the orange, silver, and the blue line. And, you know, one of the things that they did mention is that this suspect, once he was on the platform shooting at people, passengers came in and tackled that suspect to the ground. We're also told that that Metro employee, whoever it was, tried confronting the suspect as well. So, Mark, it seems to me that there were a whole heck of a lot of heroes and 1 villain in this story. Still a lot of unput together parts because it just happened, and hopefully we'll get some video from Metro Transit Police in the coming days or weeks that kind of tell the picture, paint the picture a little bit better for us as to what happened down the escalators into the station and on the platform. But again, a Metro employee was shot and killed on the job this morning during rush hour. 3 more people have been injured, but according to the press release or press conference, excuse me, that we just wrapped up, it appears that those 3 people who were injured are expected to be okay, Mark.
Joseph, just a quick question if you're still there. Again, this is secondary as far as importance, but will this have an impact on Metro service at least for the next couple of hours?
Yeah, that's a very important question, Mark, and we have an answer for it. So a couple things. Right now, the Potomac Avenue Metro Station and 5 other Metro stations are closed, a couple before and then a couple after it as well. It's closed right now between Federal Center and Minnesota Avenue. Those are the Metro stations that are currently closed. At the press conference a couple moments ago, we were told by Metro's general manager and CEO Randy Clark that they will be closed for a couple hours more and that they should be opening up later on today. And I asked him, one of the questions that I asked him was, you know, how he feels about this happening. He's been the GM and the CEO of Metro for just over 6 months now. He's had his fair share of criminal activity on the DMV's largest transit system, and he said again what he's told me previously, which is that Metro, but America, Washington, D.C. has a gun problem. It's not just unique to Metro. A follow-up question he answered and said he would be riding the Metro on his way home. Metro General Manager and CEO Randy Clark is known for riding the Metro a lot, Metro Bus and Metro Rail. He said he'd be riding the Metro train back home today. But for right now, 6 stations closed. The best thing that you can do, I said this a little while ago, Mark, just go to Metro's website or the Metro Rail Info Twitter feed that has the most updated information about the stations that are closed. In the meantime, these 6 stations that are closed, there is shuttle bus service running so that way passengers can still get from point A to point B. But again, if you are traveling on Metro, specifically on the orange, silver, or blue lines, be sure to check the Metro website or Twitter before you hop on the train, because your commute is most likely going to be affected in the coming hours.
Joseph Omo live in Southeast D.C. Thank you so much. And we will continue to follow this story both on air and online coming up on DC News Now at 5. Let's head over now to meteorologist Damon Matson, who joins us with the latest check on the forecast. Damon, what are we in for today?
Well, Mark, some improving conditions. The sunshine is back out there for us today after We saw our first official snowfall of the year in Washington, D.C. Yes, it finally happened, folks. There you have it. Those snowfall totals, nothing impressive by any means. Most locations, even around Washington, D.C., didn't pick up more than an inch. It was enough to coat the grassy surfaces, maybe the top of your car, but it was not out there on the roadways or sidewalks here this morning. So enough to make it look like wintertime briefly, but now as we get into the afternoon and that sun is out, most of this brief amount of snow is melting away. And there you have a good picture of it here from the radar estimates. The steadiest snow was just south of D.C. along the I-95 corridor back to the west into northern Virginia and across portions of southern Maryland. Mostly everyone stayed within that trace to 1 inch amount. Now, there you have it. This afternoon, we still have some passing clouds moving across the area, but we actually have a decent amount of sunshine for the first time in a little while, and that is going to try and stick with us for as long as we can hold on to it here most of the day. But as we move ahead with time this afternoon, we will start to see a few more clouds gradually off into the evening time shortly after 7 o'clock. We will be more on the mostly cloudy side of things, and don't expect those temperatures to warm up much. It got cold enough for that snow to fall last night, and here this afternoon we are going to continue to stay in the upper 30s to low 40s. A lot more of a typical winter chill out there for this first day of February. But there is more cold air coming as we go toward the end of the week. Just when is it arriving and how cold is it going to get by the time we get to the beginning of the weekend? We'll have a full check of that forecast here in just a bit.
Damon, thank you. London Blake, mother of Karan Blake, the 13-year-old who was shot and killed in January 7th, will hold a news conference today. This comes after the arrest of Jason Lewis, a D.C. Department of Parks and Recreation employee who's charged with the murder of the 13-year-old. The news conference will start at 2 p.m. We'll be sure to bring you the updates both on air and online at DC News Now. The family of Tyree Nichols will lay him to rest. It comes 3 weeks after he was beaten by Memphis police. He later died from his injuries. 5 officers involved in the incident have been charged. 2 others have been relieved of duty along with 3 Memphis fire employees. The special unit the officers belong to has been disbanded. And Montgomery County and Prince George's County reporting a car accident in Hyattsville. The driver crashed into 2 businesses, Milbotro Bakery and the next door Boost Mobile. Boost Mobile even had its metal gate down, but the driver still shattered its window. Airbags were deployed and the driver was not seriously injured. Well, Fairfax County Fire and Rescue Services responded to a call on Lorton this morning after work was struck inside a boiler. Now, the rescue team removed the man from the boiler located in a building on Furnace Road. He was taken and transported to a nearby hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. No word how the man became trapped. Fairfax Fire and Rescue units responded to a call of a house fire last night on Westwood Drive Northeast in Vienna. A crews arrived to find a house that was under construction had caught fire. 1 firefighter sustained a minor injury. We will bring you updates as more information becomes available. Hyattsville Police will be holding a 2-day hiring event starting today. Applicants will take a written test and agility test and take part in an oral exam if they're selected to continue the process. And the candidates who can move on will take the computer voice stress analyzer test. The next step is a medical and psychological exam and an interview with the police chief. You can visit the Hyattsville website to find the application. And the Metropolitan Washington Council of Governments emissions inventories indicates a decrease in greenhouse gas emissions in the DMV. Data tracked for the council that the Climate, Energy, and Environmental Policy Committee show a 24% decrease in greenhouse gases from 2005. Surpassing their 2020 goal of reducing emissions by 20%. And their new 2023 goal calls for a 50% reduction. The council aims to meet this goal by assisting on local plans, including electric vehicle fleet policies. And speaking of electric vehicle policies, D.C. Councilman Charles Allen is introducing legislation to put the district on track to install at least 7,500 electric car charging stations by 2027. The plan includes several ways the city can reach the desired amount of spots, including expanding the district's electric vehicle charging station pilot program to allow for the use of federal funds, requiring the installation of chargers in all major streetscape projects. And it would require all new commercial buildings that have parking lots to install more charging infrastructure. Well, today starts Black History Month, and to start it off, Metro is sharing the legacy and the story of Carmen E. Turner. Turner is the first African-American woman to head a major urban transit system. She served as the general manager of Metro from 1983 to 1990. Under her management, she expanded the Metro 31 miles and added 16 stations. Well, the Smithsonian will be hosting a variety of events to celebrate Black History Month this year, and you can catch the Sweet Home Cafe Black History Month Chef's Table at the African American History and Culture Museum. One of the chefs will be making grilled Creole pork chops and banana pudding for dessert. And that will be Friday at noon. And next week, you can check out the premiere of Afro-tourism documentary at the African American Museum in support of their newest exhibit. And that's at 7 p.m. on Wednesday the 8th, and it's free.